Shalom Israel. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. Strong shalom to all the brothers out there pushing this work in truth and sincerity. Shalom to all the akwat out there reverencing their husbands or holding it down in their households. All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. To all the brothers out there, hey, brothers and sisters laboring for this truth. All right, Bahashem Yahawashi. I'd like to give all honor and glory, praise unto the Most High God, the water Yahweh Bashmi Yahawashi. All right, and this topic is going to be, as you can see from the title, why did the Pharisees, elders, chief priests of Israel, mainly of Judah, reject Yahawashi? Now, not all the Pharisees and elders and chief priests rejected Christ, contrary to popular belief. All right, it was just a few of them that did. All right. Now, why? Of course, because this is a prophecy, right? It's a prophecy because anything that the Lord commands, it shall happen. Right. Mark 8:31. And so he began to teach them that the Son of Man, which is Yahawashi, must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. All right, so this is a prophecy by Yahawashi, ordained by the Father Yahweh. All right, this is ordained by the Father, right? If you go to the book of Isaiah 55:21, or Slakia, Isaiah 55:11, it says, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whither to I sent it." So the Lord, whatever he commands, and because this is his word, right? From Genesis to Revelation, that's his word. So whatever he says, it shall accomplish that which he pleases. All right? So it's not going to come back void. So any prophecies, they're not going to come back void. All right? Let's get another precept for that. Isaiah 34:16. Isaiah 34:16. "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them." No one of these shall fail. All right, these prophecies won't fail, man. All right, all these prophecies in the Bible that were prophesied has occurred. All right, not all of them, but the ones that we see in history have occurred. All right, look, even if you go to Deuteronomy 28, right? A lot of brothers bring this out. Deuteronomy 28:68. "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." This is evidently clear. And brothers use this, including myself, to prove that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites. All right? We use basically this whole chapter, right? From the 15th verse down to the 68th verse, these curses we can see in history and have occurred. All right? Verse 54. "So that the man that is sinner among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother." Right? We see this prophecy reoccur every day. All right? Occur every day. "And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave." Right? So we see all these curses reoccurring and occurring throughout history. All right? Did we not serve our enemies in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness? All right? So that was a prophecy prophesied by Moses about 4,000 years ago. All right? So let's go back to Mark. Let's go back to Mark 8:31. Making a video. Mark 8:31, and began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders, and of the chief priests, and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. Right, so this is a prophecy by the Lord. Alright, that he said that he'll be rejected. Alright, by the chief priests, scribes, and elders. Alright, but not by all the Jews. Right? How do we know that? Because if you go to the book of, let me see. Trying to think of the precept. Oh, con. John 8, John 12, 19. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, Slacky. So, John chapter 12, verse 19. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, perceive ye how ye prevail nothing? Behold, the world is gone after him. So, the Pharisees said among themselves that, look, there's so many people gathering around Yahawashi that the world is gone after him, right? So, this could be going into the world of Israel, right? Like it says in Isaiah 45 and 17, right? So, don't try to say, and don't believe the people that right? Acts chapter 21, because Christians would try to say that, the Jews didn't believe in Yahushua, alright? Well, that's a lie. Acts chapter 21, verse 20. And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe. Believe what? Believe in Yahushua. And they are all zealous of the law. Alright? And they're all zealous of the law. Alright? So they're zealous of the law and they believe in Yahushua. Alright? Hey, Paul. Alright? Paul is a Jew from the tribe of Benjamin. Right? Now let's go to Matthew 13 and 13. Right? This is why the Pharisees didn't believe in Yahushua. Alright? Matthew chapter 11 verse Matthew chapter 13 verse 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. Understand what? They don't understand who Yahushua is. Alright? They don't understand the full meat of the scriptures. Alright? Just like Jake in the world. Alright, you try to break this word down to them, and they can't get it. Alright, because they can't, they see, right? But they see not. Neither do they understand. They don't have ears to hear. That's why the Lord is always saying, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Right? Neither do they understand. Verse 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which is Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. Right? For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they shall see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. So the Lord, he closed the eyes of these people. All right, he closed their eyes so that he wouldn't have to heal them. Because when they start to believe on Yahushua, he would have to heal them. And that's not on Yahushua's agenda. All right? Hey, they got to deal with it. All right? And the ones that he has opened the eyes of, all praise to the Most High. All right? Verse 16. Now he's talking to us. But blessed are your eyes, for they see. We see what? We see this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. and your ears, for they hear. We can hear it, and we can comprehend. Verse 17. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. And that's twofold. All right? Because the disciples and apostles and the people that were believing on Yahawashi at this time got to see Yahawashi in the flesh and all the miracles that he did. Right? All the miracles that he did. But there's many righteous men that have desired to see this stuff. Right? Even us, we have desired to see Yahawashi. All right, but have not seen him. All right? And also we know that we have gained this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from the Most High, or through His Son Yahawashi, and now we're able to hear the things and to see the things, right, spiritually, that many people would want to hear, all right, but have not heard them. All right. This is let's go to, because look, the people that don't believe in Yahawashi, all right, in these last days, or in general, hey, they're doomed for destruction, all right? Because Yahawashi is the only way. He's the mediator, right? Zechariah 13:7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd part shall be left therein. Right? Somebody has to be the 2/3. Right? Somebody has to be the 2/3. And these Pharisees, chief priests, and elders that didn't believe in Yahawashi, they're part of the 2/3. All right? Verse 9. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as gold, as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. Look at that. The Sabbath. They shall call my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. All right? So somebody has to be the 2/3, because 2/3 is going to be cut off and die. Those that don't believe in Yahawashi. All right? Matthew chapter 23. Matthew chapter 23, verse 1. Then spake Yahawashi to the multitude and to his disciples. Verse 2. Saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Right? They sit in Moses' seat. They got the authority. Right? They're supposed to be pushing the law, statutes, and commandments. Keep the nation, keep the Israel in order. Right? All therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. Meaning that what they tell you, do that, right? Because they're supposed to enforce the law. All right? So, what is Yahawashi teaching? Look, observe the law, keep the law, but don't do after their works. Why? For they say and do not, meaning that they're hypocrites. Right? Verse 4, for they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. Meaning that they'll cast burdens on men grievous to be borne. Right? Like you can't walk. There was a thing that they had, right, on the Sabbath day, where you couldn't walk a certain distance or else that'd be considered breaking the Sabbath day. This is what the Pharisees taught. Right? This is heavy burdens and grievous to be borne. Right? They'll lay them on men, right? But they won't even keep these themselves, right? Let me go down to verse 15, right? Okay. Verse 15. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, right? These scribes and these Pharisees, they were hypocrites. All right, and that's why Yahawashi blinded their eyes. They were hypocrites. For ye could pass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. All right, so they're just hypocrites, man. All right. Hey, let's go to Luke, right? Luke 12:1. Beware, Slakia. Luke 12:1. In the meantime, when there were gathered together an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trode one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, first of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. So beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, right? Because the leaven of the Pharisees is hypocrisy. Verse 2, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So these Pharisees were hypocrites, all right? And the Lord doesn't like hypocrites. What did the Lord say about hypocrites? Job chapter 13, verse 16. A hypocrite shall not come before, he also shall be minded salvation. For an hypocrite shall not come before him. Right? A hypocrite shall not come before Yahawashi. Right? A hypocrite will not come before Yahawashi while Yahweh. Right? Look, in John chapter 6, verse 44, it says this, no man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him. Right? So the ones that are in this truth and believe on Yahawashi, keeping the law, statutes and commandments in truth and in sincerity, we're able to come to Yahawashi, right? Yahawashi is able to feed us and sup with us, as it says in Revelation chapter 3 and 20, right? We've gained this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? No man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him. So the Father has chosen us out of the world, right? But an hypocrite shall not come before him. So Yahawashi is or the Father is not gonna choose a hypocrite to come before Yahawashi, and I'll raise him up at the last day. All right. Songs of Solomon, right? If we go to Songs of Songs, right? 1 and 4, it says this: draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. So you think hypocrites and Pharisees are saying this? They're not saying that. All right. The elect men are saying this. All right. This is the elect saying this, not the Pharisees. All right, and it's not just the Pharisees. It was the wicked chief priests and elders and scribes. All right, but not all of them. All right, John, cause look, perfect example. John 11 and 46. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahawashi had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council. Right, the chief priests and the Pharisees had a council. Right. And said, what do we, for this man doeth many miracles, talking about Yahawashi. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. And one of them, named Caiaphas, right, being the high priest, so he was a high priest, that same year, said unto him, ye know nothing at all. Why? He's about to confound them. Because this man actually believes in Yahawashi and testifies that he is the Son of the Most High. All right? Nor consider that it is expedient for us. Expedient means good, right? Or let me define it. Right? It says, of an action convenient and practical, although possibly improper or immoral. Right? So convenient and practical. It is not practical, right, for us that one man should die. Salaki, I read that wrong. Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not, because he knew that Israel was just sinful and wicked, right? So he knew that it would be good for Israel if a man were to die for the whole nation. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahawashi should die for that nation. So he believes in Yahawashi, because the Old Testament talks about Yahawashi dying for Israel. All right, Isaiah 53. All right, and many other scriptures. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Right? Now I want to touch on verse 51, because the scriptures say that he prophesied that Yahawashi should die for that nation. And let me look for the scripture real quick, right? Because when you're able to prophesy, you have the testimony of Yahawashi, right? You have the testimony of Christ. Okay, let's see. See thou do it not, right? Okay, Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I and thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi worship the Most High. For the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. So the angel just said it right then and there. The testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. All right? That is the spirit of prophecy. So this man had the spirit of prophecy. Therefore, he had the testimony of Yahawashi. And therefore, he believed on him. So not all the Pharisees and the chief priests, not all of them didn't believe in Yahawashi. Okay? There were some of them that did, but most of them didn't. Why? We went over the precepts. All right? Now let's go to Luke 7 and 36. Right? Here we go again. Luke 7 and 36. And one of the Pharisees desired him that he would eat with him. And he went into the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat, meaning that he wanted to eat with Yahawashi. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahawashi sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment. Right? But really, the point I really wanted to touch on is just verse 36, because the Pharisees, if they didn't believe in Yahawashi and believe that he was some sort of divine prophet, why would he even eat with them? You know? Why would he even eat with them? So, not all the Pharisees and the Jews rejected him. All right? Hey, Paul. All right? Paul was a Pharisee. Where's it say that at? Philippians 3, right? Philippians chapter 3, verse 4. Though I myself also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinketh that he hath wherefore he might trust in the flesh, I more. So now he's going to go into his works, right? Verse 5. Circumcised the 8th day, of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee. So even Paul was a Pharisee, but guess what? He still believed in Yahawashi. All right? In many of his letters, he addresses himself as an apostle of Yahawashi. All right? Concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. All right? Now that's Paul. All right? So he was a Pharisee that believed in Yahawashi. And let me pull up the definition of a Pharisee. I meant to do this in the beginning, but I wanted to go straight into the precepts. All right. Now I'm gonna pull it up, and I'm gonna pull it up in the Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary. All right. Pharisees. Definition of Pharisees. Out of the Bible Zondervan Compact Dictionary. Of the three prominent societies of Judaism, now they got it kind of wrong because Judaism wasn't in Judah or Judea, all right? It wasn't a religion. At the time of Christ, Pharisees, Sadducees, and Essenes. The Pharisees were by far the most influential. The origin of this most strict sect of the Jews is obscure, but it is believed the organization came out of the Maccabean revolt of 165 BC. There was, however, a group of Jews resembling the Pharisees as far back as the Babylonian captivity. All right, so a Pharisee was just meant to keep the nation of order. All right. Now, the definition of the Pharisee is really long in this book. All right, so I'm not going to read all of it, but I can pull it up on this one. All right. Let me put on my all right. So, let's see what this says. A member of an ancient Jewish sect distinguished by strict observance of the traditional and written law, and commonly held to have pretensions to superior sanctity, a self-righteous person, a hypocrite. So, right. So basically, they had the authority, a strict observance of the traditional and written law. All right, so that's what a Pharisee was. All right, and ignore the Jewish, because Jewish just means like or pertaining like onto a Jew. All right. So yeah, ignore the Jewish. All right. But with that, I don't think I got any precepts left. With that, I'd like to give all honor and glory, praise unto the Most High God, Yahawashi, the water for tuning in, the water Yahawashi, the water, Bahashem, Yabashah, Aman.